And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good morning, friends and traders. Welcome to the Market Forecast. I am Dan Hodgman, filling in for John Hoagland. John's going to be out the next couple days. Hope you guys have all had a great week. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dan Hodgman. I am the former host of the Market Recap. You can find me Thursday afternoons on the Limit Up podcast, and every so often you'll see me on Tuesdays, or not just every so often, just about every single week on the Coach's Playbook. Please do let me know if my audio is not loud enough. We can turn that stuff up as we go here. Like I said, John's going to be out the next few days, so you're going to have to grit and bear with me. It's been a little while since we've talked through all of these markets, but not to worry. I am still actively trading. I don't look at all of them on a daily basis, but we're going to kind of dive through. We're going to take a look at what's going on. We're going to talk about some market events, things that are happening around the world and here in the United States. Obviously, as we all know, the U.S. Fed raised rates yesterday by 0.75 of a point, or 75 basis points. That is up to now 3.75 to 4% on interest rates. We've got the Bank of England coming out this morning, raising their rates 75 basis points as well. Audio is low. Thanks for the heads up. We can turn that up. Hopefully that helps a little better. You guys just let me know there. We can also do a little tweakage over here. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. You guys let me know. All right, so we have a lot going on. We're in the middle of earnings. We saw earnings last week have a major impact on these equity markets, and yesterday the Fed number, huge impact. And that's not just on equities. Every market on my board was impacted at that number, pretty much except for crude oil. Let's talk about that really quick before we dive into the charts and take a look at what's going on today. Let's kind of talk about what that Fed number really means. Number one, trading around that number. Don't do it. It's not smart. Professional traders. I talked to some professional traders yesterday that were looking for breaks off the number. Well, they got shaken out. Because we saw the bounce. This is what's been happening the last few times the Fed raises rates, right? We're seeing that market already sell into the number. So when that number comes out and it's as expected, you're going to see people start to lock in profits, and that market popped really strong off the number. So again, it's all about that patience, waiting for the market to relax. We have the emotion to the number, and then we have the reaction to the emotion. Those are the two big moves that tend to come with numbers. Those are what you want to think about. Avoid the emotional move. Get into the reactionary move. And if it's still a little volatile for you, sit on your hands and wait until the next day. We've got the stocks continuing to work lower here today. You got crude oil opening up inside, staying inside. We'll talk a little bit about crude. We're going to look at gold. Gold's not a market I've been paying much attention to here lately since I stopped doing the recap, but we're going to pull it up. We're going to glance at it. We're going to take a look at what's been going on there, continuing in the downtrend as the dollar gets stronger. A lot of things happening there. You got the euro in moving similarly to all these other markets right now in a nice little downtrend. Same with the 10-year note. So we'll talk about those. Just a couple things to think about coming up here this week, today. I have it up. Just a heads up. Earnings, like I mentioned, we're still in earnings. So you've got things like Starbucks, PayPal coming out today. I saw some other ones. Motorola. Nothing worthwhile there. Pretty quiet day. No major impacts. But again, it's still earnings season. And if wild numbers come out, they can have an impact on these stock markets if you're trading the stocks. So think about that as you're trading into these numbers. Let's go ahead and take a look at our charts here today. And again, please grit and bear with me. We are in Hoag's charts. They are not mine. So it'll take me a little bit as we walk through through them, but we're going to get the gist of it. We're going to talk about where these markets are, where they may go, and what are some opportunities inside there. All right. Well, as I used to always say, as always, we're going to start with our crude oil. Crude oil is right between weekly kickoff high and weekly kickoff low. Center of that range here. What are we seeing, though, over the last few trading sessions? We're seeing this trend higher. But here's what I'm looking at. I'm seeing today's market start to open inside yesterday's range. When we look a little bit closer, we're going to see we're also inside yesterday's value opening up here. This is a great opportunity for a sideways day potentially. Maybe we'll see this market work its way to the side. If not, we're going to look for potential directional moves. Again, every market, every single day, when you sit down and look at these things, you need to be prepared for all moves. They can go sideways, they can go higher, and they can go lower. And what's going to be the final factor of where they're going to go? Those are things that we need to be thinking about on a given daily basis. So when we look a little bit closer as day traders, what are we looking for? Well, I like right where we're at here, right? We're value areas. How important is value? How important is settlement price? Settlement price here in the crude oil is right up here at $90. No, I don't have it on the charts, but it is right here at $90 is where settlement price was from yesterday. So that, you guys know me. For those of you that remember me, that's one of the first things I'm looking for. If market opens up away from settlement price, what kind of work does it have to do to close the gap back towards settles? Now we have other extenuating circumstances and fundamentals coming along with the crude oil market here. So those are things we need to keep in mind. But what I'm looking at is I'm going to see, does this market accept outside yesterday's value? If so, looking for rotation to the low side, potentially checking overnight low, and then potentially yesterday's swing low, which happened to be previous overnight swing low as well. So if I accept outside, looking for that rotation down to the downside. If not, I'm looking for rotation right back inside yesterday's range. Look towards point of control from yesterday, which is just shy of settlement price. So that's really where I'm looking at high and low on this market. And again, potential to the breakout to the upside. You got weekly kickoff high just up here, just shy of 91 bucks. Next, let's go ahead and look at the S&P 500. I know everyone loves this market. Hoag's been having a lot of fun trading this one on Make Hoag Money. No surprise here. We're in a downtrend over the last few days. Excuse me. I should have sipped my coffee before I said that comment. We are in a downtrend over the last few days. No surprise yesterday. Fed comes in, hikes rates once again, impacting this with the goal of curbing inflation. We all know how that inflation is right now. Pretty intense on inflation. So this market rotating lower. I'm not 100% sure on all the lines that Hoag's got drawn in here. We know down here, this one's obvious, 3606. That's our 25% correction from all-time highs. But we got weekly kickoff low right down here, just below 3,700. What are we looking for? Well, 3 days, high to low. 4 days, high to low. We're looking for rotation. We're looking for movement. We're seeing that this market is currently in trend. I'm not going to be one to fight the trend. I'm not going to ever be one to say, well, the bottom's in. Let's look for rotation to the upside. But when we look a little bit closer, let's see what we're getting an idea of. We are now we're setting to open up below yesterday's entire range. We're below yesterday's value low, point of control low. I'm looking for this market to maintain trend to the downside. Now, how do we trade that? That's the different question. Everyone's going to be a little bit different in their approach to trading trending markets like this. What I'm really looking for is I'm looking for strength. I want this market to show me strength. I saw this yesterday. So many traders across the board getting in and continuing to buy new lows as that market was trading lower prior to the number. So yesterday, as this market continues to press lower, I was watching traders buy down here and picking bottoms with expectations that this market is going to pop. Well, we know we all want to be flat on the number. It's not worth taking outright positions into that number. So the key is you want to really look if we're in a downtrend, which is what this market is. We don't want to be buying lows with the hopes that we're going to catch those small little bounces. We want to be selling highs. We want to be selling strength in downtrending markets. So if this market starts to show a little bit of strength, pulling back towards maybe potentially some moving averages, that's where we're going to look for taking those short opportunities potentially for market to rotate lower. Now, obviously, every market state is completely different, and these things can rotate. We can see reversals rather quickly, so we want to be conscious of that. Know where we're getting in, know where we're getting out, and that's what I'm looking at here in the S&P today. S&P trending lower. Now, I have a hard rule within my system. Days like yesterday lead into what I've always called as a hangover day today. Manage the expectations walking into a hangover day. If you had big profits yesterday and big windfalls were happening and taking place because we saw huge movements, manage those expectations. Do not come into today with the expectation you're going to see the same volatility. I'm going to come in today and probably sit on my hands the majority of the day because expectations have to change. Volatility is going to adjust. This, for me, is what I'm looking at as a hangover day here today. Let's go ahead and look at the Nasdaq as well. That's this one. We'll glance at the daily really quick. I'm not pulling TPOs. That's not a product or thing I look at in my own trading. But here we go. Nasdaq right on weekly kickoff low as we sit here today. Market, obviously, strong downtrend. Here's what I love. If you guys know me at all from the past, I'm a big channels guy. I like to define my trend lines and utilize trend lines to create the channel where that market's trading in. Well, Hoag's got one right here, 1.2.3 points of contact. We saw the break off of this earlier this week, and that sends us rotating lower. This, to me, is why creating visuals for these markets is so important. You can see it instantly. And again, if you can see it, so can other people see it. Markets are extremely visual. Lean into that. Don't hesitate. All right, so looking at our 30-minute chart here today, this market, same setup right now as the S&P. But what I like about this is we're sitting right on Hoag's weekly kickoff low. I mentioned it in the S&P 500 when looking at this market. We got a hangover day. We had big, huge volatility yesterday. I tend to look for these days to be quiet on my approach. So I'm going to be patient. As we sit here on weekly kickoff low, I'm not interested in doing anything at this point. I need to see this market either look to show bounce and rotation back to the high side, which, hey, the equities could very easily get a good bounce and off the open here, rotate right back towards point of control from yesterday, maybe up towards settlement price. The Nasdaq settlement price was $10,944 and $44. Excuse me, $10,944 half. So we could see this rotation back higher, and the same could go for the S&P. We could see it rotate lower. I'm coming in on a day like today. I'm sitting on my hands, being relatively patient on this market. Okay, so those are the three main markets that I personally am trading in and active in. But I want to just take a glance at what we've got going on in a couple of these other markets. I know Hoag breaks down with you guys regularly. Gold here sitting right on weekly kickoff low, right at 1620 after a big down day yesterday and a really strong down move here in our overnight session. When we look a little bit closer, we can see what's going on. Again, volatile off the number yesterday, exploding through the opening high, rotating back lower at the end of the day, and then continuing lower here all last night. Hard to argue this move right now. If we're looking to see a directional change, be patient, wait for it. Let it really establish directional move. If we're looking for a continuation to the downside, again, make sure you're looking for that strength point. We saw it really, really nicely here this morning when we opened up. We got a little bit of strength on the open market. That to me is where you're looking to take that short in a downtrend. You want to see that strength. And again, you want that strength to almost kind of fake you out, right? You want to get to a point. You want to get to a point where that strength is going to shake you up. It's going to make you think market is now rotating. As soon as you think that, that's probably the point of, okay, that's probably enough strength here in this market. Now we can look for the short to continue. Again, you have to adjust your bias, right? We think we're seeing a rotation, but when we go back to our plan is still showing us that this market is in a strong downtrend. I'm not seeing, what am I seeing? How am I seeing this? How am I interpreting this? Again, downtrend, we're looking for strength to take the shorts. It'll take a lot more than that little bit of a pullback or a little bit of strength there to tell me that this market is looking to rotate higher. All right. I am not 100% sure what else Hoag's looking at with you guys, but between gold, the euro, and the 10-year note, all three of those are looking pretty much the exact same on setups in the current market state on those. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been on here. I don't always have the same content or as much content as John. He is the professional. I'm just the backup. I do want to say good morning to everyone. I see a ton of comments. Great to see all your names popping up in here. Again, for those of you that don't know me or I haven't seen in a while, it's good to see all of you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hoag's going to be out until next Tuesday, so you're going to get me for the next couple days. I'm excited about it. We'll continue to grit and bear through these things together. If you have questions, please let me know. Natty Gas is a Hoag favorite. Thanks, Mike. I don't talk about natural gas. It's a product that I'm not educated in, and it's not fair to me or fair to you guys if I try to break that one down. That was a product that was in my old firm that I used to trade at, and I knew some phenomenal traders on it. I would ask questions, and other than that, I would stay away because, you know what, that was just a product that never worked for me. Can I point out where you see weekly low on the NAS? Yeah, let me just glance really quick. I mean, weekly low is exactly where we're at this moment. Where we're trading right now, 10,800 pretty much is our weekly low in the Nasdaq. Oh, JD, yeah, I forgot about that one. Joe, I don't believe there is any make Hoag money. I just don't have the capacity to add on that one. If you guys haven't noticed, I don't do a lot of live streaming anymore. I've had to shift my focus here at Top Step, so I unfortunately won't be able to do make Hoag money or make Dan money. But again, the principles are the same whether you're in that video or in that room. Question yourself, and I mean this in the most honest way possible, but question every decision you make. I do it with every single trade I take. I have to question. I want to double check. I want to hold myself accountable, ensuring I'm sticking to a plan. You know, I don't have a handwritten out trading plan anymore. I just don't do that at this point in my trading career. But it doesn't mean I don't have a plan. I know my guidelines. I know my rules. I know what I have to look for going into each and every trading day. Now, do I take notes on every single market of levels I'm looking at? 1,000%. Have to have an idea of where markets are going. What's my strategy going into that day? And the same thing applies for you guys here today. Even though we're not doing a make Hoag money. Yeah, JD, I'll get to that one in just a second. Thanks for reminding me. What are some of the things, you know, when you take that trade? Am I able to take the risk? Am I trading this because it looks like a momentum move? Or am I trading this because my plan looks good? Now, if your plan involves momentum moves, you know, those are really hard trades to be successful at over time. Yes, we can find good opportunity in short time, right? You saw that volatility yesterday, just, you know, maybe after that number, we're catching some of those longs going up, and then we're catching some of those shorts going down. But really, what's the plan inside that? Where is my out? At what point am I taking the heat? Those are questions you want to just double think about. So, you know, those are things you want to think through. Do I have enough capital to take this risk? You know, that's one of the biggest things I see out there. There are so many communities. Top Step Hold's got a bunch. You know, you can join in on these YouTube channels. You can get in the Discord. The one thing I will always say, everyone has a different appetite for risk. So when taking those trades and when you're talking about it with someone else, you know, they're saying, hey, I really like the short here, whatever market it may be, and you're looking at it, and just because they like that, and maybe you see potential to the downside, can you take enough risk to be successful in that trade? I can honestly tell you every trader is different. Not everyone is having the same risk or has the same appetite internally, that psychological pain to take, intolerance to take on some of that risk. So those are things to think about. All right, I did forget to mention we had jobless claims come through this morning. Pulling that up. And then throughout the rest of the day, you've got EIA natural gas coming in at 9:30. Jobless claims, 217,000, 217K. So jobless claims coming in, which is going to lead to unemployment numbers tomorrow. Where is my tab? Excuse me. Here we go. You got natural gas number coming out at 9:30 today, 9:30 a.m. Central Time. And then we had international trades and goods this morning at 7:30, but I think the big one we'll pay attention to. Obviously, every Thursday you're paying attention to jobless claims. Not quite the impact today as they were 2 years ago. But tomorrow, unemployment number coming out at 7:30 a.m. Central Time, so that'll be before the market forecast kicks off. So make sure you're thinking about that one. And again, there's no recap here today, but I believe Jack and I will be doing a podcast, so you're going to see me twice here today. I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean by that one, Mike. J&J plan is awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign on out of here. Take your time, get a cup of coffee in you, run to the bathroom. Markets open up here in about 25 minutes. Thank you for your patience, and look forward to seeing you guys all in here tomorrow morning. We'll make Hogue proud, and you guys have a great day. Take care, everybody.